I'm coming to you live from the sunny streets of Fullerton, California, and a word of caution, we're about to hit some rough water here. We're going over some of Fullerton's streets. A criminal city government that all belongs in prison for stealing hundreds of millions of dollars. But I digress. You know, folks, the love of money is the root of all sorts of evil, right? And by the way, how's the audio? The top's down in this 24-year-old four-cylinder jalopy. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry about the vibrations here. Just call them good vibrations, I guess. Can you guys hear me? All right. I might have to yell because we got a little wind noise here, folks, but I want to talk to you this morning about the truth. And, you know, the truth is always free on this channel. I've been on YouTube for years and years and years. I have never had any ads on any of my videos. And I'm not selling anything, folks. And if you want to put my videos out there, go right ahead. Just mirror the crap out of this information. Put it out there. Just give credit where credit's due. I'm not going to tell you that the truth belongs to me. The truth should be free, folks. And nobody should put a price on it. Nobody. It's amazing how people pay all this money for lies, right? They pay all this money for, you know, the news to be delivered into their living room. They pay all this money to go to church and get lied to by these crooked pastors. And I wanted to talk to you about the truth, folks, and I wanted to talk to you about something that is really a big concern to me. You know, everywhere I turn, everywhere I look, everywhere I research, everywhere I study, everywhere I go, we're taken to the edge of our seats and either left hanging or having our heads inserted into some sort of a psychological guillotine, or given misinformation for a price, right? Everything has a price, folks, except the truth. The truth is free. You know, it's amazing to me how there's all these self-help books out there. There's all these books about psychology and religion and Christianity and all these different entities of fields of study and schools of thought, right? And there's all this, you know, this woe is me and poor me routine, right? Let me tell you something about Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen. You know, God doesn't want you to be some self-loathing, feeling sorry for yourself, wretched, pathetic mess, right? He wants you to overcome the things that have been set here to destroy you by those people who serve Lucifer, right? Okay, you know, I'm driving last night. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and I did a really stupid thing. I turned the radio on, right? And there's a station on Riverside that comes in and it plays the hits of the 80s, and I think it's Casey Kasem on Sunday nights where they, you know, they do the top 40 countdowns, right? And, you know, I was a kid, and a lot of these songs I used to sing along to didn't realize what the lyrics were, right? Well, I'll tell you, folks, I was listening last night. They were counting down 1984, and one of the songs was about abortion. Another song was about, you know, doing things to yourself, and, you know, on and on it goes, right? These are songs that I grew up with, had no idea what they were doing to me. And I'm driving home, and the liquor store signs are all lit up, and, you know, there's cases of beer and cartons of cigarettes and fast food places, and, you know, everything's designed to make you sick. Everything's designed to kill you, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. And, you know, you turn on the TV, and it's all this stuff on there to seduce you into doing bad things. And, you know, the kids got these virtual reality headsets, these video game systems, and now they got, you know, the jewels and You know, all these things to deliver drugs to them to make them all comatose and perverted, right? And I start talking about this stuff and people get offended. Well, you know what offends me? You know what offends me, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you what offends me. When people hold the truth and unrighteousness, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Jesus Christ came to forgive sin, but he also came to die as a full payment for our past. Can you hear me okay? I just got on the freeway. And if you plug into him, that means you can't watch TV because you should know better. You should know better than to listen to that music. You should know better than to watch those movies. You should know better than to give your money to these criminals in these phony churches, right? But see, that's why they don't teach you about the real Jesus. And I'm not talking about your own personal Jesus that Johnny Cash sang about or Depeche Mode sang about, right? I'm talking about the one who broke out the whip, who beat the crap out of all the money changers, and who called a spade, ladies and gentlemen. Can you guys hear me? How can a Christian watch television? Well, I'll tell you how. They have not been born again by the Spirit of God. And that's right where these crooked churches want you. They want you under the spell of Hollywood. That's right, folks. That's what they want. They want you watching the television. So you'll stay stuck on stupid, stuck in sin, and hand over your money every weekend. Instead of living victoriously, living free from sin, living a healthy, happy life. Boy, it's loud. Can you guys hear me okay? Can I get a confirmation audio's coming in? I'm only doing 60. Not going that fast. You can't go fast in California because there's so much traffic. Well, anyway. Well, that's kind of loud, huh? Can you guys hear me? So what kind of Christian will sit in front of a TV set, huh? Tell me. What kind of a Christian can sit in front of a television set and watch this vile, evil crap? And go to church on Sunday? I'll tell you what kind of Christian does that. A phony Christian who is as blind as a bat and as comfortable as a rat in a pile of crap. You know, I listen to the radio or the news once in a while. I can't take all this tire noise from these cars next to me. Wow. Listen, you know, Universal Studios keeps advertising their theme park, right? You guys ever been to Universal Studios? It's all about Harry Potter and this witchcraft castle, right? Unbelievable. You cannot serve Jesus Christ and watch television, folks. Plain and simple. Can't do it. And I'll tell you one thing right now, all these worthless, phony pastors do, because they're always talking about what the news is telling you and what the movies are all about. And, you know, I'm just telling you, folks, they're keeping you in the soup. They're keeping your mind in the goop because they want access to your wallets, so you'll be a self-loathing, pity party, pathetic pile of putrefaction. And feel like the only way you're going to do any good in life is to give them your money, right? Meantime, movies are becoming more and more like a pornography session. Video games are becoming more and more like an Illuminati satanic ritual sacrifice session. That's right. That's right, folks. And the children's cartoons Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on the children's cartoons, ladies and gentlemen. If people would stop watching television, the people that control it would probably all just go away. Because guess what? They cannot survive without us handing our fear and our perversion over to them for consumption. And they wouldn't be able to control us. And they wouldn't be able to scare us. And they wouldn't be able to disarm us and inject us and poison us and pervert us, right? But isn't that what they do, folks? Isn't that what the television's all about? How about these romance novels? You know, I love to read, folks. I love books, and I appreciate those of you who send me books. Right? By the way, the reason I drive a 25-year-old convertible, folks, this little 4-cylinder BMW, you can pick one of these up for about $3,000 on the internet. I'm not kidding you. Go look on the internet for like a 318i convertible. You can get one for like $3,000, right? That's not even half the sales tax on one of these electromagnetic Wi-Fi plastic chambers that you're leasing for $600 a month, right? It's a joke, folks. They've got everybody. The reason I'm driving this car is because I need the sunlight through my eyes for at least an hour a day, folks. You need to get sunlight through your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fact, all right? You need to get sunlight through your eyes. You need to get sun on your skin. They got everybody driving around with sunglasses on through tinted glass, depriving the mind and the body and the soul and the spirit of everything God gave it, right? Sunlight, fresh air, clean water, clean food, love. You know, the biggest weapon we have against the forces of darkness is what? Can anybody tell me what the biggest weapon we have against the forces of darkness is? Huh? Anybody? Prayer. But let me ask you a question. What is prayer based on? It's based on a premise. It's built on a foundation. It's rooted in a precipice of love, that God loves us, right? And what is the most powerful force on this earth besides prayer, folks? It's love. And you want to know something? That is why Hollywood is doing everything it can to keep the guys and the gals from falling in love and getting together. And that's why the banking system is doing everything it can to delay marriage and relationships and put people through 20 years of satanic mind control education that teaches them nothing but lies and ruins their life and puts them in debt. And you know, the guys and the girls, they can't approach each other. They're all embarrassed. Everybody's insecure. That's why the girls are dyeing their hair blue, and the guys are, getting tattoos all over their bodies. They're all trying to overdo their differences when, in fact, they ought to be embracing their commonality, and that is their redemption. And, you know, when guys and gals get together and fall in love, there's a power there. There's a realm of energy there that the demonic realm can't feed on. Because the demonic realm cannot eat or metabolize or digest love. The demonic realm only eats, hungers for, lusts after farms, harvests, prepackages, and stores for future consumption. Fear and perversion. That's why Hollywood only promotes fear and perversion and bloodletting and bloodshedding and filth. Because Hollywood is the antithesis of love and God. Hollywood is a window into the heart and soul of Satan. And the churches are protecting Satan by making sure that you all watch television. Have you ever heard a repeated call to stop watching television from any pastor? No, as a matter of fact, he'll tell you he's letting you out early today to go watch the ball game. He'll make a joke about the Super Bowl parties, right? And they won't talk about the halftime Illuminati rituals, right? They won't talk about those. You see, the pastors will let you out early on Super Bowl Sunday so you can watch the satanic church service. Am I over the top? You think I'm too much? You people can't handle the way I talk about the truth? Then go back to your skinny jean, emasculated patsy that will throw psychology at you with a version of the Bible that's so watered down it's almost ready to be turned into a coffee cup. Right. The cellulose is disassociating from the binding with all of the watering down that takes place in these churches. That's why I'm telling you to stop giving your money to these people. Now, if you know a pastor that's doing his job, by all means support the living heck out of him. I mean it. But you see, I have never found one. They're all on the take. They're always looking for money, always trying to figure out a way not to have to go to work, and they're never where they should be. You know, I had a chance to go to I had a chance to go downtown in Fullerton over the weekend, and it's a really sad situation, right? There's probably 125 bars within 3 square miles, and the music's terrible, and everybody's just drinking, and these girls are just dressed ridiculous. These young girls, they're all dressed up like prostitutes, and you know, all these guys look like they want to get into a fight, and it's just the whole thing is a bad vibe, and there's thousands of people walking around down there, right? I don't know how many pastors I've asked to go downtown on Friday and Saturday nights and witness to these people and bring some of their, I'm not kidding, I think let me see, I've asked 5 different pastors over the past 15 years to go downtown Fullerton and try to evangelize to these kids, right? To tell them that, you know, drinking a bunch of Jaeger and Red Bull and smoking a bunch of joints and trying to catch venereal disease is not the key to happiness, okay? And neither is getting put into the back of a police car after you're driving home with a .2, right? There's no joy or fulfillment, but yet this is all the stuff that the young people are drawn to and trained to pursue, because after all, those are the places where the man shows his dominance and the woman shows her seductive power, right? But you see, that's not of God. You see, 2 people can never fall in love unless they let the guard down that the devil has put between them. And that guard that they've got up is based on and synthesized from and erected by the powers of insecurity that have been fomented and proliferated and cemented by years and years and years of Hollywood conditioning. Of that, you're never good enough. I'm never good enough. None of us are ever good enough. None of us are worthy enough. It's all a big insecurity convention, right? And so it takes lots of liquor and drugs and you know, bodacious outfits to overcome all this insecurity, right? And all of this interference is designed to keep human beings from falling in love and creating a family. Every single thing Hollywood is promoting is the antithesis of mom and dad and a family. Because the people that run Hollywood, who serve the devil, know that their boss isn't going to keep paying them unless they can produce the product that they were paid to produce. And they're in the business of factory farming fear and perversion. And in the process, you know, all the lyrics to all these musical songs from the 80s were basically designed to destroy the youth and to keep them from falling in love and to experiment with sexual proclivities that don't come naturally. And now they, you know, Capitol Records, they doubled down and, you know, as they were broadcasting through that spire on the roof in Hollywood to the demonic realm that's underneath the firmament that's trapped, you know, they invented rap music, right? And look at the vile, murderous filth in rap music, right? Look what Hollywood gave us there, right? And then there's some guys that, you they try to get into the business of using the rap music to tell the truth, and they end up getting murdered, right? It's really sad. But here's the deal, folks. They can't win unless you let them. And the truth is free. And by the way, you're free to disseminate and do whatever you want with these videos. Just put a link into this channel. Do me a favor, don't monetize the thing, for crying out loud. I mean, that's not cool. I'm not monetized. Don't try to make merchandise out of my material, because I don't. My goal is just to tell you the truth and to share with you the wisdom that God has given me for free. I didn't pay for this stuff. All right? It didn't cost me anything. And then, they weaponize even the frequency that they record the music in. But I'm telling you, folks, if you think you're a Christian and you watch television, you're deceiving yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. I was downtown Fullerton. My wife was home taking care of the kids, and I was down there, I don't know, till about 10:30 on a Saturday night. And it was wall-to-wall bars. Bunch of music and people yelling and screaming. Everybody's getting drunk. People were walking around smoking pot. Scantily clad young ladies, right? I mean, literally, it was just like Las Vegas Boulevard in a lot of senses down there. It doesn't faze me, folks. That kind of stuff doesn't faze me at all. I could walk through that place and not even have a drink. Doesn't faze me. You want to know why? I'll tell you why, folks. Because the truth is power. Okay? The truth gives you power to say no to stuff. Have you ever been a victim of addiction? Well, I have. Hey, you think I was born an angel? Are you kidding me? Doesn't work that way, folks. You know how I overcame my addictions? Through the power of Jesus Christ. He set me free. But you know what? You don't go to a place that makes you weak if you have an addiction. If you're a recovering alcoholic, you don't go to a bar. If you are a recovering drug user, you don't go to the pharmacy where they sell the oxys. If you're a recovering smoker, you don't go to a bingo parlor in Laughlin. If you are a recovering overeater, you don't go to a buffet. If you're recovering from sexual addiction, how can you watch television? Because television gave us cigarettes, alcohol, adultery, medication, perversion, all of the horrible, wicked, evil things that have destroyed our society. That's right. The television could have been used for good, right? But instead, the people that control it use it for what? They use it for evil, folks. And how can you sit there and lust after a woman on that television screen and not be guilty of that sin? You know what Jesus said? He said, you do it, you look at it, you do it in your head, you're guilty. Now, one of the things that breaks my heart is the triple whammy to the women, folks. And as I'm about to roll this out, I see these crows fly over the car. You know what? May the demonic realm flee in the name of Jesus Christ. That's all I can say. And the cross of Christ, may it be the biggest stumbling block in the world so they fall off the cliff if they reject it, right? You know what's right. You know what? There are people out there that hate God, that hate Jesus Christ, and they make sure that we all fall into their pit. You know what? We're not falling into their pit. You know what's going to happen is, as they keep digging this pit for us, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to get them the ladder to get out of it. We're going to make them stay down there with their shovel. All right? And this is how you do it, folks. You shut off their programming. Shut off their satanic music. You shut off their movies. You shut off their programming. Their skin flicks, their Netflix, their crap flicks, whatever you want to call it. But here's the deal. You know what makes me sick about what's being done to women? This really breaks my heart on so many fronts. You know, they get these girls watching Disney videos and stuff when they're little kids, and they're subliminally being programmed that men are evil, that there's an alternate lifestyle awaiting them, and it's glamorous, and they show them these waistlines that are unobtainable, and they show the two-tiered society with the dwarfs and the goblins and the elite, right? And you know, folks, I'll be honest with you. It's an amazing thing to think what these women are being put through as the electromagnetic emissions. As these electromagnetic emissions, folks, are sterilizing them, destroying their eggs, right? Right? And they're being fed sugar. And they're being shown images of people that they can never attain the imitation of. And they're made insecure, and they're fed high fructose corn syrup. And they start looking in the mirror, they feel more and more insecure. The movies make them feel like they're not good enough. And you know, the movies and the music have turned their dads into monsters and drunks and womanizing cheating bastards. And they're dying inside before they're even old enough to know they were alive, right? I saw some of these girls on Saturday night, you know, 21, 22-year-old beautiful young ladies dressed like prostitutes. Literally at the end of their ropes, I could see them. I talked to a couple. And I asked them what in the world they're doing in such a horrible place, and they just said they're not really sure. And they asked me why I was there, and I told them that I had a friend that I was meeting down here and meeting some other people. And that I was standing outside because it was too crazy and too loud inside there. And I just wanted to come outside and get some fresh air. And there was this young girl, and honestly, she was something that didn't belong there, right? There's so many of them that don't belong there, but that's all they know because that's what they've been trained to do. See, Hollywood has trained young women to be prostitutes. Hollywood has trained men to be perverts and animals. Hollywood has trained men to be womanizing, cheating, aggressive, raping, drug addict monsters, right? Hateful, violent, murderous monsters, right? And cheating and abusing women and lying and scamming and scumming, right? And you know, God made Adam, and Adam had it all, right? But he was alone and he wasn't happy. And so what did God make? God made Eve, a woman, right? Isn't a woman something precious and beautiful? And to those of you who have daughters, you know exactly what I'm talking about. To those of you who have a girlfriend, you know exactly what I'm talking about. To those of you who are falling in love, you know exactly what I'm talking about. To those of you who have never experienced falling in love, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A woman is something special to behold, something precious to hold, and something incredible to love and to cherish and to nourish and to protect. And what does Hollywood do to the women? It turns them into trash bags that are disposable. And you know, you tell me a Christian can watch television, and I'll tell you your pastor's on drugs. Okay, you need to find another pastor. All right, that's the bottom line. That's right. That's right. You cannot watch television and have a clear head and understand what the Bible says. And here's the deal, folks. If you watch television, you'll never tap into the power of Jesus Christ. You want to know why? Because the devil's already got his plug in you. Now, when you look at the wall, if you're living in any semblance of a decent home, you've got two prongs in the ground, right? There's three prongs in that outlet, right? Well, here's the thing. The devil's got all three prongs in you with the television. And there's no place for Jesus, right? No place. All right, I had to comb my hair just for you guys, all right? There you go. There's no place for Jesus when you're plugged into the television because the devil's got his prongs in you. Right? Right? So let me ask you a question. What are you going to do with this information? Huh? What are you going to do with this information? Are you going to laugh at it? You're going to go right back to your bong and your Xbox and talk all that trash? And what are you going to do? You're going to get all drunk and act like a whore? Like some of these women I saw at the bars? Really, really sad. You know, like you go through a couple of husbands and, you know, you're on pills and your eyes are all bloodshot and you're all over everybody and, you know, you're not making any sense. That's an embarrassment. Hey, guys, here's the deal. It's not a man's world. It's not a woman's world, folks. You know whose world it is? It's God's world. All right? It's God's world, and he's given it to us. And he's given it to us so that we can enjoy another day under the sun. Another day walking the face of this wonderful earth. And the only way you're going to realize just how wonderful things are is if you stop allowing the people that run Hollywood to teach you how to think and make you think you need things you don't need and make you feel ways that you shouldn't feel and make you have these insecurities that you should never have. Because let me tell you something, folks. There isn't a person walking around on the face of this earth that isn't important and special. Every single one of us has got 75,000 miles of circulatory system in us. And every single one of us has unique talents. And every single one of us was put here to make other people happy. All right? And what do? They make men into women and women into men on television. Right? And then the people that are running stuff are involved in trafficking and raping children. And they promote medications that hook, addict, and destroy families and societies. They foment hatred and division and balkanization among us to create war, to kill us off, create food that makes us fat and sick and depressed, and create programming that makes us doubt everything and look in the mirror and make us feel like a failure. Let me tell you something, folks. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to look in your eyes, and I want you to look at your nose and your mouth and look at what God has made and how incredible all that is and break your conditioning. And you know what? If your pastor is sitting there making jokes about TV, fire your pastor. And go up to the pastor and say, you know what, I'm done with you. You're not getting any more of my money and you need to wake up. That's the truth, folks. If all of us just got off of the television, the devil's businesses would start folding like a bad hand at a poker table. Right? Right? We got to do that. The TV and the movies are all there to destroy us. The drugs and the pharmacies are all there to oppress us. The music is designed to subliminally program us. You know, I remember this song by Elton John, right? Someone Saved My Life Tonight. You know, you almost had me roped and tied, right? You know, walking away from the altar, right? And that clicks when you know, I'll tell you, folks, I'll be honest with you. I've been in love a few times in my life. But the time that I really went down for the count with my wife, I've only been married once. But I remember when I fell in love with my wife, a lot of the songs started making sense. And you know what those songs were? The lyrics in those songs were coming into my head, and they were all exit strategies from a relationship. Because the people that run Hollywood hate the union of a man and a woman. As a matter of fact, the people that run Hollywood love things like the union of the snake. And that's why Duran Duran had their hit album, you know, after they sang about girls on film and, you know, pornography, you know, the union of the snake, that was their album. I mean, that's Hollywood is not into the union of a man and a woman, folks. Hollywood is into the union of the snake. It makes me sick to think how stupid people can be and how much they're missing out by walking around with sunglasses on, hiding in dark buildings all day, staring at all this weird, kinky, evil, vile, creepy filth, right? And then, you know, they're hypnotized in eating all this junk that's advertised. I mean, how many different things can you dunk in a fryer and put salt on and sell? Well, I mean, that's literally what all the foods become. And then the rest of it's all sugar, right? And what's the purpose of all this? To make us sick, to make us unhappy, to keep us single, so we won't have a family, so we can't win, and so they win, right? No, they're going to lose, folks. You want to know why? Because they're on the wrong side. We got the truth on our side, folks. The truth is free, and the truth will set you free. And he who is free indeed, and they can never enslave us unless we let them. This is Joe Imbriano, folks. I want to thank you for tuning in on this special edition of Drive Time of the Fullerton Informer. P.O. Box 4121, Fullerton, California, 92834. On the web at WiFiDangers.com, thefullertoninformer.com, Disney666.com, NASAFraud.com, CellTowerDangers.com, VaxDangers.com. There's all kinds of different sites and information I put out there, folks. Nothing's for sale here. I'm not for sale. I'm just here because I'm giving back what God has given me. I've been redeemed, so can you. It's all free, costs nothing. You don't have to give 10% of your income to some clown that's still in bed right now thinking about what he's having for breakfast. You don't have to give 30% of your income to some Masonic organization that's got you riding around on a bicycle. You don't have to do any of that. You know what you got to do? You got to just get right with Jesus, and all you got to do is say, Jesus, I know who you are. I know what you did, and I've been putting too many things between us for far too long. And it's time to get the dumpster out and throw all that stuff away. If you have to duct tape the bong, if you have to take that syringe and you have to smash it, if you have to take those pills and take them to the recycling center, if you have to take a hammer to your television, if you have to put a lock on that refrigerator, I don't know what you have to do, folks, but we all got stuff we got to deal with, all right? And if you're weak, don't walk into the den that makes you sin. If you can't handle controlling yourself, don't go to the buffet. If you can't handle the hot chicks, don't go to the strip club. If you can't handle the booze, don't go to the bar. If you can't handle the video games, then don't go to the game cafe. You know what you need, folks? You need one of these $3,000 cars. Like I said, go online, get yourself an old, 1995, 1996 BMW 318 convertible. You can pick a couple of, there's a couple of them out there for like $3,000, folks. Put the top down, get the sun through your eyes, get the wind through your hair, and become alive again instead of becoming some electromagnetically Wi-Fi'd slave of sunglasses and blue light Game of Thrones perversion crap. Kill yourself. I'm so sick of it. And you should be too. All right. Come on, guys, grow some. Put the beer down, shut the ball game off. You know, if you got that monster truck, it's a good thing to have for off-road and getting out of Dodge when it hits the fan. But you know what, folks? There's more to life than screaming and yelling at a bunch of guys running around with a thing made out of pigskin and farting up the living room while your wife's in the kitchen, slaving away, realizing that she shouldn't be doing this for very much longer. Because if the psychiatrist gets a hold of her, she's going to get on those pills, and your bills are going to go through the roof. There's so many ways they got it set up to drive a stake and a wedge between us. Don't let them win, folks. This is Joe Imbriano signing off.